Good morning, everybody. If you take a seat, we'll get started here.
Yeah. Shoot, out my way. See if they will.
Maybe. Everybody wants to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That minutes and claims, the auditor.
I believe you all should have received the minutes for the January 18th, 2022 meeting for your approval.
I'll make a motion to approve if there's no questions.
Second.
All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? None? Okay.
The claims for January 15th, 2022 to January 21st, 2022 in the amount of $4,361,637.43 plus payroll in the amount of $1,055,973.45 for a total amount of $5,417,610.88 for your approval.
I'm good to go, so I'll make a motion to approve the claims January 15th through January 21st, 2022.
Second.
All in favor by aye? Aye.
And then we also have the claims docket dated January 22nd, 2022 to January 28th, 2022, and the amount of $877,656.41 for your approval.
Make a motion to approve the claims January 22nd through January 20th, 2022.
Second.
All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that all?
That would be it. Thank you.
Okay. County credit card for Veterans Assistance Office.
Tim, do you have anything to say? You want to talk about that, or you want to give us a limit? We got to set a limit on your card. Okay, we have all that, so I guess we just need to kind of know $1,000, $2,000 a month, or
That's our normal.
And then, like, if you've got a big purchase, we can call them and have them bump it up for a month or a week or whatever to make it.
Tim, once it's approved, there is some paperwork that we'll need you to sign also. And then the ordinance that goes along with it that has all the internal controls, rules, and regulations regarding the credit card. Okay?
On the agenda. It's not in.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve a new credit card for Veterans Affairs Office with a limit of $2,000.
Second.
Did you hear that? All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Tim.
Adult Protective Services Prosecutor's Office. Cheryl, what is that exactly?
Probably contact the state.
Is that for us or the council?
Yeah, I would say, I think we should table this. Rob's actually out of town this week anyway, and then I can talk to him and we can figure out what we need to do going forward with that. So this is the extra money for bonuses or how that was all gonna be used. Yeah, I say, let's wait, go ahead if everybody's in agreement, well, up to the commissioners. But I would think we should table it until he can be here. We can talk more detail about it, yeah.
Motion to table.
Second, all in favor by
Aye.
aye?
Michael Wright, Contract Commissioners.
Yeah, so this is a contract with Michael. Michael does a great job. We continue to ask him questions and use him for things. The understanding that kind of everything flows through the Moss law firm, so this is just a basic contract for Michael to continue services so he can send us a bill. Is that about right, Michael? Okay.
Make a motion to approve the agreement with Michael Wright.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mike.
Human Resources and Maintenance Appointments, Commissioners.
Make a motion to approve Tommy Roberts, Maintenance Director.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
And then Human Resources, I'll make a motion to appoint Kara Wright, Human Resources Director. Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Pitney Bowes lease for new jail.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking.
Well, I can do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
This
we
was
were there.
one where the sheriff's department wants to have a mail system set up at the new jail. It makes sense. Currently, they run it through here. Instead of doing an additional contract, it makes sense for us just to add it to what we currently have going with Pitney Bowes. So that's simply what we're doing today.
And one of the interesting things I found in county government is the commissioners have a line item annually for postage, and we pay all the postage for all the entities across the county. So then lead to, with their new location, well, they'll need a postage meter there at that location.
Kevin caught me looking at him, so I need to explain why I'm doing that. A lot of our elected officials have employed majors to reduce the amount of mailings that go out. Kevin was one of treasurer's office, recorder's office, so that's actually helped decrease our postage expense tremendously. Yeah, and then we had a machine that we bought at one time. I'm not gonna say numbers again, Mike, but it was expensive, and now we lease one for a lot less money, so we do the 3-year leases. So yeah, it's, all of us working together has really decreased the amount we spend on postage. The post office doesn't wanna hear that right now. But, so I guess are we approving some?
Yeah, need to
We're
approve.
approving the new lease.
Is that your motion?
Yeah.
Second.
Motion to approve it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Power DMS Community Corrections.
Hi, Bill.
We have a contract that we utilize to develop our softwares and all of our training for our staff. That software allows us to build trainings straight from our policies and procedures so that we can test our custody staff and people on medical procedures, things like that. So it's just renewal of that contract with them.
Make a motion to approve the Power DMS contract.
Second.
All in favor, by aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Restroom Remodel.
Mike, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, we started last year about this time to get some remodeling on our restrooms, and I got ahead of myself a little bit, and so we resubmitted to put it out for some bids and got bids on it. We've got that ready to go. We've got the money allocated for it. So we're going to start knocking them out one at a time. We're not going to do them all at the same time, but it was one of those things when I was on the council that seemed like that it was a favorable thing for all the employees here. So we're going to get some restrooms remodeled. So I'd like to get approval to move ahead with that. Oh, that, kind of an interesting sidebar on that is when Tim, when I looked at you, I was just thinking about it. We came up with this. We were looking at this and, just the basic things. And Tammy pulls out a booklet about 2 inches thick out of her desk drawer. And I go, "What's that?" And she says, "That's American with Disabilities." And I'm going, "Oh, really?" And we had, and I won't go into the story how that got developed, but at any rate, we got professional help and developed this thing. I said, "When have we acted on any of that lately?" And she goes, "Never." And I go, oh, so with the restroom remodeling, we will meet the guidelines that were provided in the booklet that we paid for. So, and we'll improve that and come into compliance. So, that too.
But you also had the vision to make this more COVID safe.
Oh,
Because all of the fixtures that we have now, you gotta touch. So this gets rid of those fixtures and adds the touchless ones. So are we still paying for this with the COVID that we had set aside?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It covered it from last year.
Then I'll make a motion to approve it.
A second.
All in favor, by?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. You're good to go.
Joint agreement?
Joey, you want to talk about it, or? I know how excited you get. Come up here.
I wish it were more interesting, but it's just a contract for a backup internet circuit. Our current internet circuit is at the jail. This one will be in this building.
Looking ahead.
Yep.
Yep.
Redundancy is our mission
Redundancy is key.
for Q1.
Can you say that again?
Redundancy is our
That's
mission.
good. I just,
I'll make a
See.
motion to approve.
that was for you, Jim.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, by?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
Comment from commissioners or other elected officials?
I'll go first. Larry Robbins, it's your time. Let's talk about snow. Let's talk about community crossings. Let's talk about all kinds of stuff.
What do you want us to talk about first?
Let's do community crossings and the new signage.
Okay. So in our ongoing effort with taking advantage of the state's community crossings matching grant, you had approached us about, you see signage in other communities, where we use the monies and how they're funded and everything. So a good representation of that would be to place signage out there on those projects, to let people know that this was a project that was made, it was, made available by the community crossings matching grant and local income tax dollars. So this is a draft mock-up of the sign that we would place out there on those projects. Would not be the final version, it's just an idea, a concept of that, but to let everybody know that, what those projects are and where that money is being spent so that the public can know, where their tax dollars are at work.
Awesome. Can you tell us which roads you put in this year for community crossings?
The application this year, Battle Row, Baldwin, Greencastle Road, Devonald, and Rose Hill. I'm sorry, not Rose Hill, Roberts.
Roberts.
And not Baldwin, either. Baldwin's, was that part of it?
Baldwin was part of it, yes.
I thought
Baldwin
we
from
were-
Rio
I thought we were
Grande.
doing that on our own.
No, that was part of Community Crossings.
You just said Baldwin from Rio, you mean Greencastle?
No, Baldwin. Baldwin and Greencastle both from Rio Grande North.
Okay. What's the one outside Lakewood?
That's Broderick.
Broderick.
Broderick,
That's it,
Broderick we were trying to do
pulled-
with local money.
We pulled, we're gonna do that.
Yes.
Regular measures. I got you.
Broderick and Pony back around to Fry. So, we're still developing local paving, but those are a couple of projects that we've earmarked for this year, so moving forward, but that'll be changing, try to get that list out, as it becomes available. But as far as community crossing goes, that's the one that we applied for. We do have 4 that we're bidding out next week, actually, that were awards from last year, which would be Duggar, Reeder, and Wright, and also Rose Hill. That's where I got Rose Hill from.
All right, you want to talk about your supervisors meeting this morning and
Sure.
snow preparations?
So, as everybody's heard, there may be a little bit of a snow event coming in. So we are preparing for that, making sure we have personnel lined up, splitting shifts, so we'll have round-the-clock coverage. Since this is going to be an extended event, or is forecast to be an extended event. Hopefully it's not, and we do all this for nothing, but we are prepared just in case. We've got plenty of material, plenty of equipment out there ready to go. So we're just anticipating its arrival and are ready when it gets here.
Thank you. You're the man. Anybody have any questions for Larry?
I do have one other thing too. I'm up here.
Uh-oh.
I do have a petition to release some road bonds for, from Peabody Mining Company. I believe, Terry, I think we looked at this late last year.
I did.
And it was something that we, I failed to follow up on, but, they have asked to release the road bonding for a crossing, a 200-foot wide crossing, 2,300 feet west of the intersection of County Road 400 East with County Road 1200 North. Those are all Sullivan County references, but it is it is Trimmer Drive, in Vigo County, which is the boundary between Sullivan and Vigo County. But they have met all the requirements. There are no issues with the crossings, and I would just like commissioners, if they could, vote on that to release that bond so we can get that taken care of.
Do we just need a simple vote?
Yes.
No, it just releases their bond. So they have, anytime they come in and do work, they'll close that road when they come in and do the mining operations. And then the commissioners at the time required them to have a road bond for that to make sure that it got placed back into standards, so it was a safe, travelable road when they were done with it. And it was just coverage basically for the county to have in relinquishing the rights to that road at that time for those operations. So now that those are complete, Peabody would like those bonds released. Yes. Yeah, and the road, they restored it to the correct standards. It's fine. It's a safe passable road. It has been for years. So we just need to release those bonds back.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to release the bond for Trimmer Drive.
Second.
All in favor by aye? Aye. Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
Kevin, you got anything? Diana? Any other elected officials? Todd, Vicky? Bruce? Brendan?
No, I got none.
Mike?
No, just sitting around waiting on the snow to come.
Do you want to do a bet?
No.
I do. 3 inches. 3 inches, Vigo County. By the end of Friday. Friday at 5, my number is 3 inches. Got that on the record? Aaron? Okay. Anybody else want to play? You'll go over. What do you got? No. No. Give me a number. Give me a number, Thacker. This isn't Price is Right. All right, 3 3/4. Okay, measured where? Measured where?
Going out to Brendan's house.
Yeah, we'll
On my
all
back
go out to
deck.
Brendan's house.
On my
Yeah.
back deck.
I'll say 5.
You're 5. Terry Bottas is 5 inches. Okay? You guys aren't gonna do it? You're not
No.
gonna guess?
Oh, I guess 8.
You guess
How's that?
8?
Yeah.
All right, Mike Morris says 8.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go big, 18.
You're going 18? All right, 18.
All right,
And-
hold on. Let's get this back under control here.
No, hey, Larry, you shared with us that the measurement for ice is 1/10, right? Is that what you said yesterday?
Anything over a tenth becomes problematic.
A
Not only
tenth of
can you
an
not
inch.
see ice on the roadway, but anything over a tenth starts to build up on trees.
Power lines?
Power lines and those forth. So you get up over much over a tenth of an inch of ice, then you're gonna have power lines go down, you're gonna have trees, break and fall across the roadway. So
Okay,
it becomes pretty problematic at that point, so.
thanks for sharing that. We've
I-
had a lot of discussions about this.
We can, we can have 2 feet of snow, I'm fine with that. We're prepared for that, but ice.
We don't want the ice.
Ice, we do not want. Major power outages, we do not want.
Thanks for the education session there. 18 inches. I hope you're right, man.
Yeah, well, after working here, or 14 months I've been here now, and getting to realize our county highway employees are some really great people, and they're going to work really hard, and patience is key when it comes to a snowstorm and ice and stuff, so if everybody can just be patient. Jimmy, do you have anything to say?
Okay, comments from the public? Any comments
Linda?
from the public?
Linda, that's your time.
Did you want to share, Linda?
Yeah.
Regarding West Terre Haute, and I'm we just need some help over there. I mean, things are beginning to change. We've had businesses coming in. But the thing that's still the same way it was 20-plus years, 20-plus years, is the animals are still running at large. We just really have a big problem. We've adopted new ordinances in 2014. They were published in the paper. They were adopted by the previous town board, and they're not enforced. I realize the police department only can do what they're told to do over there. And so I'm not truly sure where the problem is. They always say that there isn't any money. If there was money, there's no place to take the animals. I know the new shelter was built hoping to alleviate some of the numbers, but West Terre Haute apparently doesn't even have money to pay the intake fee at the shelter. And so I just need, I mean, we just need some help. I don't know what you guys can do, but we do. And if you read the letter that I sent, there's incidents happening over there all the time where, especially in the south end of town where the dogs are running loose. People are getting cornered, they're getting trapped. They won't even call the police because 9 times out of the 10, the police won't come down there. Now, I had an incident a few weeks ago where 2 dogs were running loose, and the guy behind me has decided to bring in farm animals, and he has 2 pigs, 2 goats, a bunch of chickens, and roosters. Well, the dogs got loose, killed the roosters, so the police have made the statement if, you know, they're called again there, that they will shoot the dogs because they're considered aggressive. I just don't know what the answer is. I truly don't.
Well, I will say Larry Cassane did reach out to me probably 4 weeks ago, and we did have a good conversation. I also talked to Police Officer Tommy Roberts about it.
Yes.
Tommy did make a couple fines. One was a really hefty fine. I'm not sure of the property owner, but it was a pit bull dog, which makes no difference on the breed of the dog.
Yeah.
But, so we did get through the ordinances to where they can fine the dog owner without taking the animal unless it is determined to be aggressive. I know their funds are short. I'm not sure, we'll have to talk to Terry and, maybe Sheriff Plassey. We have one animal control enforcement officer for all of Vigo County.
I know.
So if we could get maybe an additional employee, or we can get an MOU or something signed that he can come over and take those dogs, because we certainly have the money to pay for that, the intake fee. But, I'd be happy to work with Bill Bark and the West Terre Haute Town Board, and I know Brendan and Mike would too, to shore up their ordinances or assist them in any way we can to make sure you guys are safe over there. And you're right, there's businesses coming. The Redevelopment Commission has done wonders over in West Terre Haute, tearing houses down and stuff like that. So there is a big interest in West Terre Haute. We'll have to see how to move forward. Good.
Just to address a couple things in your letter, and I'm going to do it by memory. Here it is. So I reached out to Tim Taylor yesterday, our code enforcement guy with the Sheriff's Department, and you mentioned that they were told that the county can't enforce in there.
A board member was told, I believe, I don't know if it was by Bill Bark or who, but that the animal control officer for the county had been instructed not to come to West Terre Haute.
That is correct, that since the town of West Terre Haute is their own entity, it's their responsibility. About 2 years ago, we did a memorandum of understanding with the town of Riley, because the town of Riley, being a town, its own political subdivision, it kind of mirrored what West Terre Haute does or is. And they don't have the ability to do any enforcement. So we did an understanding with them that allows Tim to go in the town of Riley. And we also did it with the town of Sealyville. So it is that, like Chris said, it's something that we can look at, but resources are strapped thin. When I ran for county council, I walked the whole town of West Terre Haute, and it was a great experience, and I actually got to learn firsthand what the term ankle biter means.
Oh, yeah.
This little yippy dog comes running out of the house and just latched onto my right ankle, and that shining moment was I'm done walking, because I couldn't. The little dog bit me, but I thought that'd be funnier than but it is true though. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's everywhere. It's in my
Yeah,
neighborhood.
my
It's-
son's been bitten 4 times.
Yeah. So, we can definitely do what we can to help, but it is a West Terre Haute thing. Chris has a great relationship with all the board members over there, so I'm sure that we'll move forward and address
Well, the
your
one
concerns.
problem, and I'll just say this up front, we have one town board member that sees things one way and the other 2 see it the other way. And
I understand.
And it will never change. And it was like that before.
What's that?
So I believe the shelter's full, isn't it?
Normally it
Mike
is.
talked to the shelter yesterday, right?
Yeah, I didn't talk to him about capacity, I talked about them spay and neuter, so I could speak what their capacity is right now. But
From experience from
I'll
the other
follow up on
side,
it.
the shelter is mainly part of your issue, because the city is getting it, they're getting the same answers. Now, as an elected official, you might call and you're gonna get one answer, but when the code enforcement calls, they get a different answer.
Yeah.
This has been
It's
an
time-
ongoing
time.
problem for a long time, as to why probably years ago, I will say it, there should have been a city-county shelter built.
Municipal.
What would you like to see happen pretty quick? I mean, what's a goal for you that we can go after?
Well, if we could just get, I realize it's a big problem. There's apparently no place to take the animals when they're full. If you have something aggressive, I can understand that animal would be euthanized. I don't know if having money to have a spay-neuter clinic in West Terre Haute would help at all. That's part of the problem, because the animals, a lot of the dogs over there are not spayed or neutered, and it's out of, they can't afford it because all the vets have raised their prices dramatically. It's over $120, and then that's just a spay or neuter. That's not for any shots.
Sure. Yeah, I did research that, and they said they have a Thursday spay neuter at the shelter. I think the league has dropped off and not been, hasn't, well, I think it's a volunteer thing personally, but they do have, but there's the shelters mentioned that there's a shortage of veterinarians, and there's one retired veterinarian that comes around to different communities. They spend Thursday. Oh, you're aware of all this?
Yes.
Okay, all right, okay then. Yeah, but I think we can work on improving that. We had, a few years ago, about the time they built the shelter, there was a lot of people around the community, a lot of volunteers that were making a lot of these things work. I remember they had again, I just haven't followed it very closely in the last couple of years, but we can perk it back up. We had some great people that were, they were taking animals. They met and took animals to Bloomington about one day a week and things like that.
Oh, there was Pets Alive that went down to Bloomington, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's no longer.
No.
The spay neuter did that also.
Yeah. Yeah. So we need to bring it back up snuff. They've got their equipment still, I think. I don't know what the status of their options out in the community are. But I'll follow up on it, and I think we can do a few things.
Okay, appreciate it. Oh,
Go ahead if you have something.
Hi, Vicki. We're cohorts in animal crime, I guess, trying to get something done.
Yeah, I did try to call you back. I couldn't get through on that number.
Pardon?
I did try to call you back. I couldn't get through on that number.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
9003.
oh, well, thank you for calling me back. I just want you guys to fix it. I don't know how. I did give you information about a county employee that I'm in a fight with, and doesn't need to be made public here. But I want you to understand what some of the problems are that we're up against, and it's a lot worse than just that. Lori Tharp, that's, I don't know, she works in the police department now, but she retired from the animal control part. And she did this, she got that grant for the TNR, it was, what was it, 28,000? I think it was around 28,000. It was a PetSmart grant. And we've done TNR for years, and we're getting old, in case you noticed. And it's like a 3-day job for one colony, just to go in and deal with everything and do it right. And I know we would work with anybody to train them, but paid employees, but volunteers just can't do it all. And believe me, I've tried. Since 1991, I have worked with Anita Oswald and, other people, and of course Spay Neuter, which was formerly had a different name, but the colonies in the part, I live in the Terre Haute side of Riley, or whatever that means, on the other side of 46. And subdivisions are perfect places to dump animals, because we all need more animals, and any place in the county. I mean, people, I don't know how many people, somebody dumped a litter, or there's a litter in a box, or there's a box by the side of the road with a litter of cats in it, or it's on a porch. It happens all the time. It happens in the city from the county, happens in the city to the county. And it's about the breeding. And we have laws in Terre Haute that we worked on for years. If you are a breeder, you're paying $100 for a pet tag. Well, good luck on that. I mean, none of these laws are enforced. And I do talk to the mayor, especially about this last issue. He's been helpful. And he says he has something line money, I don't know what he's talking about, but money, discretionary funds that he can access. I'm not sure, I don't know what it means, but anyway, I thought, good, money, we could use it. And as far as the shelter, it was closed for about 1.5 years. Mayor Bennett was well aware of this. And Mayor, we get along except on the animal issues, and then Mayor Bennett and I do not get along at all. He knew this was closed. So where were all these animals going for 1.5 years? And prior to that, I would call, and I'd ask other people to call, and of course, what do they say? We're full. We're full. We're not taking any. And I said, well, are you putting anybody on a reserve list or anything? No, we're full. We can't. And Charles Brown, I don't know why that man came back here, but he worked in the shelter, 15 years ago? Or I'm not sure. He went to another shelter somewhere. And he came back here to run this shelter again, and he's really, really a good guy. I mean, good manager, on top of things. And as I put in my letter, he said, we have cats in places we've never put cats before. I mean, he is really trying. But when you have, and then what's that? We look at the lost and found or whatever. All those animals, it's, free kittens, free puppies. Those are the ones that don't get spayed and neutered or end up strays or handed over to somebody else. And like I said, we worked in this for 50, 60 long years. And so I would like to see no free giveaway. And it's actually, I think it's in the city ordinance. And I worked on all those city ordinances since '89 with Brian Conley. So anyway, I don't know what we can come up with, but I would love to have the city animal control officers. Well, there's only one. It took him 2 days to remember to meet me to help get a cat out of a pet taxi and into another pet taxi. So I'm not, I think they should be on top of things a little better. I'll put it that way. I think it should be taken seriously. And I don't know they're busy all the time, so I don't know what they do. The rest of the time, trash and cars and I don't know, other things that I'm not concerned about. But I'd like to see something done so that everybody could get together. Some representative from the council, code enforcement, and Tim Taylor. He's helped us numerous times. And guess where we end up? He helps us. We take the animals to Park Vermillion. That's a tiny little shelter. And Mark Southwick he's a saint. And I think he's going to have a nervous breakdown, but they don't have a shelter manager right now. And then they have animals at PetSmart, and that's where we've taken a lot of the animals to also. And right now the shelter doesn't have time to deal with that, but I think they will down the road, be able to take at least the cats. And then there's the big pet fair day where they bring, I think once a month they do that, yeah. So that helps, and there's a lot of adoptions there. And then Ollie's, that's helping, and Dog It Dig It is helping, and then there's a cat rescue. But there's no end to people calling and desperate. I mean, it never ends. Of course, we get called, because we can always take in a couple more animals, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but until people all sit down together and talk, you know, code enforcement, the mayor, Tim Taylor, et cetera, where can we get some money to do that? But if you don't, TNR, I mean, there's cats, mayor says, yeah, I know it's a problem. Yeah, no kidding. It's terrible out here. I just worked at that house. The worst I've ever done for trapping was 38 cats at a couple of, you know, several residences. And it's because of the litter. And I used to go to the city council all the time. I escaped Terre Haute, by the way. So I used to go to the city council meetings all the time, and we got a lot done. I'm not saying that we didn't. But that, I've told them the one cat in the alley is 30 in a year, because they can actually have 3 litters, but often have 2 litters in 1 year. Okay, and it's average of 4, although I saw one cat had 10, that was a record. They didn't make it. But anyway, you've got to get it turned around there, and trapping, bringing them in. And if the shelter can get things under control a little better, which I think they will, but the puppies and kittens are pouring in there right now. And this is January and February. This is unusual. Usually the breeding starts probably next month, and they're gonna get call after call. There's kittens under my shed. There's a cat had a litter, it's on my porch, and on and on. And a lot of renters leave them. I've been in the houses where it's usually seniors, yeah. We've been in the houses where a senior took in a pregnant whatever, and then it just exasperates. They don't have $100, but it's actually 140. Yeah.
With shots.
Dr. Miller's the cheapest. It's about 125 for one cat that gets spayed. That's before shots or anything else, and warming and et cetera. Another vet is closer to 200, I think, something like that. Because we've been spay-neuter. We check all these. We get a break in Marshall, so I drive cats to Marshall, and I drive cats to Sullivan. The only break we get here, I think they give Sally with spay-neuter. Dr. Holster gives her 4, allows her 4, and that's not cheap. It's like $80, but it's better than 125. It's spay-neuter money to help people. The public vet comes, and people have to, that's that spay-neuter license plate. That's where some of the money comes from for the Dr. Peavy. And people have to register online, which a lot of seniors don't have computers. Plus, you have to have transportation to get the animal there very early on it's usually a weekend. They did 2 days, I think, last month. So it's a problem. So where do these people go that can't do that? And it was like 80, I think she did 80 cats. It's only cats, it's not dogs. And the shelter now has a spay-neuter program on some Thursdays. Dr. Skank comes in and does those. She also goes to Park Vermilion and spay-neuters and all that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just hoping that you have an answer. And then there's so much money lost. I mean, all these pet tags, when have you ever seen anything on TV that is your dog wearing a durable tag on its, collar? No, there's no publicity on any of this. People, once it's on television that you're supposed to have a pet tag, go to the Board of Works or the Sheriff's Department, right? It's where they pay. Is it the Sheriff's Department? She's
Yes.
laughing. It's like, nobody comes, right? No, because they don't know about it. Well, that's money that's lost. And, and it may be $5, but when you take thousands of animals times $5, it's money that could be used for something. And I'm trying to get the city to buy traps. There's a special cat-sized trap that's perfect. And they have the money that can do that. But I just like to see a coordinated effort to help people in the county with these colonies and people in the city. I mean, it's both ways. It's not just one place. So anyway, that's my hope that you guys can come up with something. Any suggestions?
And Spot Clinic that was on Wabash.
Yeah, Spot
closed
Clinic.
because they couldn't afford what the vets are making now.
Yeah.
And they had to close, but they did like 21,000 animals while they were in Terre Haute.
It helped low
So
income.
that,
Yeah.
it was aimed at low income, but there's a lot of those, so I'm really neat.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. We hear you loud and clear. We'll try to find some solutions and see what we can work on.
Well, Chris, will you meet with all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Town board.
I know which town board member you're talking about too, so we'll try to get everybody on the same page.
Okay.
So, no worries.
Thank
All right, thank you.
And it's a lot of seniors that are victims, they feed the one cat and it just exasperates. It's just not fair. Thank you.
Any more public comment? All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks.